Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Melissa Zimmerman here. I'm super pumped to come here live and chat with you guys about this because it is something that I have been thinking about for a while. It's something that I thought about actually a month and a half ago, even 2 months ago, and I've been kind of working to really totally involve it in my life, I guess, and really adopt this method of change for our lives, for my life and for my family's life. And I'm wanting to share it with you guys now. I think that it is a good time to share with you guys. So if you are watching me live, let me know, say hey. If you're watching the recording, let me know your thoughts afterwards. You might have saw my post earlier today. I posted on a couple different social media platforms talking about the chaos that we all have in our lives. And I use the word chaos a little bit like in jest. Obviously it's not all chaos all of the time, but a lot of times there's a bit of chaos that happens, especially as a parent, especially as a mother, and trying to balance all of the things that we're trying to do create sometimes some internal chaos, right? So I want to kind of define that a little bit first. What I'm talking about with this, for me in particular, it's things like I am a mother. I have two boys. Carter is 9, Tucker is 7. When I started this business, right now I'm running 2 businesses. When I started these businesses, the one business coaching, I was also working full time as a fundraiser. And so I've got motherhood as part of the chaos. I've got work and businesses. And at that time when I started, I was working for someone else as part of the chaos. I'm married. I have a husband. We've been married for 10 and a half years. And I have a marriage to prioritize in my life and to put first and to always nurture. So that is there as well. I have my own things going on. I seem to have this kind of disease where I say yes to everything. And then I get stressed out when I don't have time for all of the things, right? Does anybody else have that disease? Yeah. So there's all of these things going on, right? All of these responsibilities and all of these tasks. And that's just like the upper layer of the chaos that we have a lot of times as mothers and as wives and as individuals. Even if you don't have kids, you probably have a job. You probably have other responsibilities. Maybe you have pets, maybe you volunteer, maybe I don't know, maybe you have more than one job. You have all of these things going on, all of these plates that you're balancing. And then what ends up happening is there's this internal chaos. And that's really the chaos that I'm talking about controlling. Because there's a level of stress that comes along with all of those things individually. And when you put them all together, there's quite a bit greater of a level of stress, let's say. And for some, like in the case of myself, those stress factors, those things that are stressing, can sometimes exacerbate other things going on. So for me, I do have depression. I have an anxiety disorder. I am in recovery for both of those. But in the past, all of those plates that I'm balancing, the motherhood, the work, the marriage, the volunteer commitments, the responsibilities, the just being a human, all of that exasperates my anxiety. And the anxiety and the feeling that I'm not keeping up with all of these things and the stress of not doing all of those things exasperates my depression. So it's this whole like wicked circle storm that's going on, that because then I'm depressed and I'm anxious, my body's not functioning properly. I don't want to do the things, so that I'm falling further behind on work or the responsibilities or neglecting my household duties or neglecting my family. And that's the worst part, right? So there comes a point when you need to right? Like get outside of that. For me, to control that internal chaos, that anxiety and the depression that's spiraling, obviously first thing I did was see a counselor, and I was on medication for a time period and did therapies. But that stuff is hard, right? So for me, what I used to do is I would self-medicate with comfort foods, like all of the sugar and all of the carbs and all of the pop and cheese and chips and crackers and Triscuits, and right? Self-medicating with food because this food feels good. Little science behind that. The reason that carbs and sugar feel good in the moment is because they spike your blood sugar and they give you that rush, and then you get the low afterwards, which of course then spirals that whole circle and that whole cyclone of the depression and the anxiety and the stress and the low energy and the negative feelings and the mood drops. And so that's why food becomes such a cycle for a lot of us, but it's a quick fix. It's easy. Therapy, medication, counseling, that's hard. Changing my habits, changing the way I think, that's even harder. So I'm just going to eat things because it makes me feel good right now. The house is a mess. The kids are screaming. I had a stressful day at work. My husband and I are fighting. Screw it. I'll have a big plate of Kraft dinner with ketchup and salt on it. Yep. That's my drug of choice. So that food is one of the methods that I use to control that inner chaos. Another method, we're all adults here, so let's not pretend that we don't know that healthy exercise and healthy eating do healthy things for our body, for our mind, for our body functioning. So I would get to this point where I'd say, I know I need, if I just work out, if I get back on track, with my food and I stay on track and I do this, I commit to this hard thing, I know that I'll feel better. I know that I'll have more energy. I know I'll have more patience with my kids. I know I'll be happier. I'll have more energy. And some of my body concerns are going to go down. So that stress is going to leave my chaos, and hopefully that'll help with some of the depression. And this is my thought, right? I'll get back on track. But then something happens, right? It's an extra busy day with the kids, or something at work goes totally disarray, or you miss a goal, or you and your husband are fighting and it's like a big argument, or you're disagreeing, or maybe it's not even that negative. Maybe he's gone and that's just causing disarray in your life. And the chaos gets a little bit bigger than your will to succeed in your health and fitness. So you pick the easy. Because staying on track is hard. Doing that workout, that's hard. That's you got to white knuckle that shit sometimes. So you pick the easy. I picked the easy, and I would say, screw it, I'm not going to do my workout today. And then what happens with that is that if I don't do my workout today, it becomes that much easier to not do it tomorrow. And then the next day, it's easier to slide on my nutrition because I didn't do the workout, so what does it matter, right? And then you get into that vicious circle again, because to get started again on your fitness or to get started again on your food is that much harder because you fall in that much further behind. It's not impossible, little caveat there. And then the other method that I use to control mostly my anxiety, and this is something that this is where I've decided that it's time to talk about this because I had to decide it and deal with it with myself first. I have, you got all that going on, that mom life shit going on up there, right? That chaos is already going on. And then I have anxiety on top of that. That's kind of a little special anxiety that I guess it's titled social anxiety. I have anxiety that surrounds social situations, specifically with other women. So instead of doing the hard thing and trying to get through that, or figuring out the feelings behind that, or doing the therapies and the counseling to figure out why I have these anxieties or why these situations are this way, or to have hard conversations with maybe some of my friends and say, listen, this is the situation. This is how I feel when we're together. This is causing me stress. Let's talk this out. Instead of doing that hard thing, the easier thing for me is to dull that anxiety, to medicate that anxiety with alcohol. And maybe these situations don't exactly match yours. Maybe for you, it's a glass of wine in the evening after a busy day with the kids and everything was crazy and you finally got them to sleep, so let's have a glass of wine. But then that glass of wine one evening turns into a glass of wine every evening. or turns into 2 glasses of wine. Or when I had really little kids, I'd drink a bottle of wine to myself. Wine in that respect is very similar to the food. It's similar in sugar content, and so it's going to, we know, again, we're adults, like, let's not sugarcoat this. Alcohol is going to make it worse. Alcohol is going to make your habits worse. Alcohol is not healthy for you. But for me specifically, my relationship with alcohol now, it's not that I drink it at home. It's that I use it as a Band-Aid to survive anxious situations, social anxiety inducing and exasperating situations. And it's not like it's not a faking it thing. I do enjoy the taste of alcohol. It's that I know that if I have a couple glasses of like tequila or what, I'm not a wine drinker, so it's tequila for me, or a couple like twisted teas or something, my anxiety is going to calm down and I'm going to enjoy myself more. But the problem is that that's the easy way out, just like the skipping my routine is, my fitness routine, and just like choosing the easy food to comfort myself. It's the easy way out because I shouldn't need the alcohol to be in a social situation. If I'm having anxiety about it, I need to deal with what the anxiety is surrounding the issue without self-medicating. So these are just examples of some of my methods of controlling that chaos that's going on in here, that's most of the time exasperated or started by things going on out here, motherhood, work, depression, anxiety, all of these things. And I'm using the easy ways to control that. And so what had to happen a couple of months ago, another mother shared all of this with me, and it's like a light went on in my brain that she shared that we all have this chaos. I don't care what yours looks like, what you call it. There's something, everybody has things going on in their life that takes control, and you have a way of dealing with that. You have a way of that, dealing with that stress and that chaos. And so it's about choosing what methods you use to control that chaos and not allowing those methods to control you. I was taking the easy way out with my comfort food habits and my alcohol habits and my skipping out on a fitness routine habits because they were controlling me. And when this other mother shared this with me, that light bulb went on and I went, I have a freaking choice. I get to decide. I don't get to, it's not up to alcohol or freaking craft dinner what my life looks like or how I feel. I get to choose. And I had this mindset shift where I got to decide. I want to live a healthy, happy, energetic life. I want to deal with stress in a positive way. I want every choice that I make to lead to a happier tomorrow and a more positive tomorrow rather than setting me back. Oh my God, you guys, it is so not easy. I mean, saying it like that sounds like, oh, click, the light bulb went on and everything's easy now and I can just work out every day and eat all the healthy things and I'm just sober and it's great. It's not. It's so hard. This weekend, I shared this with my challengers in a video I made for them. This weekend, I was white knuckling my nutrition. I have no idea why, what got me off track, but I was like having to hold on for dear life. But what kept going in my head was, I want to control my chaos in a positive way. I want to control these stresses in a positive way. Whatever. That's the thing is I'm like doing all this self-reflecting and this personal development. And I don't know what the chaos was this weekend, but there was some kind of chaos. Something was off. Something set me off. And I wanted, the easy me was saying, oh, whatever, you've worked hard the last 40 days. Just have some ice cream, whatever. But I'm getting stronger every day and I'm able to say no, because that's not going to lead to more positive choices. That's going to set you back. And I wanted to share this because it was such a light bulb moment for me when this other mother shared this with me. And I want you to know that you get to choose what your life looks like. You get to choose whether you are happy or not. And I don't mean that in like you're having a shit day, you're in the deep of it all and you just decide to be happy. I mean in the long run, you get to decide what your life looks like. And it's one baby step at a time, and it's one hard choice after another. But you have support and you have a community that is ready and open to receiving you when you are ready for it. I am here to help you. I'm here to share everything I've gone through in some hope that it can help you so that maybe you make one less hard step than I had to make. And that's why I'm sharing today. My steps have been to fully commit to a fitness program that is changing my body. And more than that, it's changing my mindset because it's freaking hard, but I'm doing it every day. And I can't even explain how good it feels to do these hard programs. And that's the thing, guys. It's not about like necessarily being physically fit. It's about being mentally fit and doing a 1 hour workout that's really tough and stretches you outside your comfort zone and you think you can't get through it, but you can. The mirror of that to your mental game and your mental journey, it's really hard to make positive choices all the time. It's really hard to make the choice. It's really hard when you're in the middle of a like argument with your kids and they're testing your patience and something's burning on the stove and you just realize you missed a goal and your husband comes in with a grouchy mood and it's really hard to stay on track with all of your goals right then. But by training your mind in these fitness programs that you can achieve these hard goals and you can crush these hard goals and you can do hard things, you're changing the way that you think. And so in those chaotic situations, your brain is starting to think, I can get through this. I can get through this moment of depression, anxiety, crazy, whatever my brain is telling me right now. I can get through this moment because I am strong and I do have goals and I can make the positive choice, the hard choice, because you're worth it. Because your happiness is worth it. Because your kids deserve a mother that takes care of herself and that is happy and genuinely happy in her life. And because your spouse deserves a wife that is genuinely happy with herself. That's why I can make these choices one at a time, a day at a time, as hard as they are, because I deserve to be happy and my family deserves to have me happy. And so for me, it's about the fitness program. It's about committing to my nutrition plan, knowing that fueling my body with healthy nutrition gives me energy, gives me mental clarity. It keeps me off of that carbing, that high sugar cycling. And by choosing to not consume alcohol, not because I feel that I have a problem with alcohol, but that I feel that I'm using alcohol to mask my problem or to band-aid my problem. By choosing to not drink alcohol, I'm forcing myself to do the hard things that I need to be a better me tomorrow. Know that I am here anytime if you want support or a sounding board, or if you're ready to make your first hard step, reach out, please, because this is not something you can do alone. I have a community supporting me. I have a spouse supporting me. I have a family supporting me. I would never be able to do this on my own. So if you feel that you need that, know that I am here. Have an awesome day, guys, and thanks for watching.